With this workflow, you'll be able to create fillable worksheets that you can either give to your clients or have for your staff, or if you just want them for yourself or checklists or anything like that. All you have to do is fill in a few simple details. If you want to upload a transcript in order to be able to really make sure that these things are accurate to the content that you're making, you can do so as well. But then simply run the workflow. It'll process each one in the spreadsheet, and out comes a beautifully crafted worksheet that you're going to be able to use for your business. All right, let's take a look at what it did. So I have a spreadsheet over here that I have two worksheets I wanted to make. One is called Identify Your Brand, and the other is a kids party checklist. And I have a purpose for each. So what is the purpose of this worksheet? And this one's to allow the user to sit down and think about different aspects of their brand and brand identity so they're capable of giving the right weight to the decisions they'll be making moving forward with their business. And this one is to prepare for a child's birthday party. So, not much. This one, I have a link to it's a Google Drive link to a transcript that I have, just a text file of a transcript. I have some instructions for each of these models. This one is create a worksheet with multiple different sections for the different topics related to understanding and leveraging a brand, give plenty of spaces to fill in their thoughts. This one is create a worksheet for parents who want to ensure that they are covering all their bases when deciding what is needed for a child's birthday. Include fill in the blank and different lists to check off what they've done. I have here set that I do not want a handwritten I do not want it to be a handwritten worksheet. I don't want people to print this off and fill it out. For this one, for the Identify Your Brand one, but for the child's worksheet, the party list, I do. And you'll see it says done here. That's because the workflow processed. So if I come over to my Google Drive, we'll see I have Identify Your Brand, as well as, let me refresh. Here's the kids party checklist. So Identify Your Brand. Here we go. We got proper headings, we've got dividers, and we have lists. We got sections to fill in our answer. I gave that to me. We got proper bolding. Wonderful. So I got, quick reflections, core identity, audience and community, differentiation and positioning, visual and verbal identity, consistency. It's a nice little worksheet, and it's designed to be able to be a Google Doc, so that way I can send this to my clients, have them fill it out, just type it out, and then either they can send it back to me or they can upload it into the workflows that I give them, such as like the ones I have in the Advanced community, stuff like that. It's just really cool. Now I'm able to make workflows just super quick. And let's check out this other one, the kids party checklist. This one, it's supposed to be fill in the blank. So that's look, they've perfect got lines here. And it looks like they're underlines. Maybe they're just underscores, but party basics, invitations, decorations, food and cake, activities. It's all fill in the blank, supplies, equipment, safety and permissions, vendor budget, timeline, time of day, planned activities that you want to have, the time that you would do it, which person's in charge of it. They really thought this through. I really like this, as well as a section for additional notes. So really, really awesome workflow. Can make really powerful worksheets that you'd be able to either give to your clients, use in your own company for SOPs or things like that, or if you just need them for your internal processes. I really like this. This is a really cool workflow. If you want a copy of today's workflow, simply click the link in the description below to go to our free school community where you can download this and a host of other useful n8n workflows. Once inside, you'll find all of our free downloads in the classroom, as well as instructions on how to set everything up and all the tools you'll need to get it running, as well as a host of other helpful n8n tutorials. So I'll admit, I have made a ton of worksheets through the years, and I've done it all by hand. This is well before ChatGPT and all of that. I'd do a half-hour presentation, and then after the presentation, I would go and I would try to remember everything I said, and I'd make a worksheet for it, and then I'd pair the video and the worksheet, and I would do a few of those. I'd bundle them as a product, and not counting the time it took me to film it, just the worksheets alone would be hours and hours of my time, and then I'd have to try to remember what was important or what should come next, and it was just this hassle to be able to make worksheets like this. And so I built this simply because I wanted to stop wasting time. And I think it's really cool because, they may not be super long. I might make an advanced version for the Advanced community that has more. Maybe it can do a 20-pager, but 4 pages, 5 pages is still a really good worksheet. I'm fairly certain if I include it in the instructions to limit it to 1 page, it would be really good about trying to keep it as a 1-pager, but a really awesome workflow for any of you coaches, consultants, agencies out there who need your clients to fill anything out. And if you think this is going to be helpful for you, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. It really does help. All right, and let's go ahead and take a look at how this actually works, kind of step by step, show you in detail all the different nodes and all the settings. So I have this just set up with a click trigger. There's nothing in it, just a click trigger. So whenever I hit execute workflow, it'll run. And what it's doing is it's going to go to my Google Sheet, and I'll give you a copy of this Google Sheet as well. And it's just going to pull it. So we have our Google Sheets account. If you don't know how to set up your Google Sheets account, I'll have a link in the description below on how to set up your Google services. Our resource is sheet within document. Operation is get rows. Our document is our worksheet generator. That's this guy right here. All right, and we're pulling from sheet 1 since there's only one sheet. That makes sense. All right, we're going to get all of our rows. It found 2 rows, which is exactly what it should have. It then went and it looks for whether they're marked done or not. So once it's done, you can just go ahead and keep adding. You don't have to delete any of the past ones. Just keep adding as many worksheets as you need. They're going to get marked done and they're going to get filtered out. So you don't have to worry about it duplicating another worksheet that's made in the past. Just go ahead and leave them all in there. So that's what this filter is. It's just looking for whether done is equal to yes. And we see yes. So that's exactly what we would expect. All right. We then loop through each one, and I have 2 processes here. And so what we do is we first set our information using an edit field node. So what is the name of the worksheet that we're looking to make? What is the purpose of it? Is there a transcript link? This is all being pulled from the Google Sheet, obviously. What are the instructions we have for it? And is it going to be handwritten? So are they going to use this with their by hand, or is it digital? And so those are just JSON dot, and then everything being pulled from our Google Sheet. So JSON.name, JSON.purpose, JSON.transcript_link, JSON.instructions, and JSON.handwritten. And that's all there is to this node. We then have an if node. The if node is checking to see whether our transcript, so JSON.transcript, and it's checking to see whether this column is empty or not. So is this cell empty? For this one, it was not empty. And for this one, it was empty. So we actually got 1 on our false branch and 1 on our true branch, which is exactly what we would expect to see, because here is our link. And over here on our second one, there is nothing there. So 1 got passed for my transcript path and 1 did not. All right, and the other one went down here. So let's talk about the one where we're not doing a transcript really quick. I'm using OpenAI. I'm using ChatGPT 5 Mini. If you want to use a different model, feel free. If you don't know how to set up OpenAI, I'll have a link in the description below on how to do that. But what we do is we're just passing all of our information. So the name of the worksheet, purpose of the worksheet, the instructions on making the worksheet, as well as it doesn't need to allow for handwritten inputs. And we're just passing those all over. Just dragged it over and pasted it in there. All right, and then we have this system prompt. Now the system prompt looks complicated. It really isn't all that complicated. I had ChatGPT write it for me, but it's an expert educational content designer and HTML worksheet creator. And it's important that it's in HTML because we need it to be output in HTML in order to be able to create the Google Doc properly structured. All right, so we're going to go ahead and give it all of its input variables. I do it a second time. ChatGPT did it a second time. I don't need it to be here. It's already being passed forward in our user prompt, but we put it there anyway. And then we have our output format. Our output format is clean HTML formatted text. So it's not going to have any extra HTML tags or head tags or anything like that. It's got header 1, header 2, strong, which is bold, paragraphs, ordered list, unordered lists, whatever HR is as needed. All right. It has a handwritten input. If handwritten input is required, it's going to be required to add in those little lines that they can write in, right? Because if I'm going to get a worksheet that I want to fill out, I need to have the lines to fill it out. Otherwise, people's handwriting goes all over the place. But if it's digital, just include placeholders. So just add a section that says answer with a colon, put it in bold and somewhere under the thing that it's outputting. All right. That way they have a place to type out their answer rather than trying to figure out, oh, where do I write on this document? All right. It should be ready to copy and paste into a web page or editor. And we give it a chain of thought. Basically, the chain of thought is how do you break it down? It needs to read and understand everything. It needs to identify the most important information that's coming in. That's the title, purpose, instruction, what kinds of questions it needs to be asking itself. It needs to decompose the instructions into step-by-step layout or question blocks, and then analyze all of its information so that way it can build the HTML output in order to be able to make this worksheet. All right, it has H1 for the heading, so it's going to have a nice big bold header text. It's going to write out the purpose and the instructions that it's been given on the document. So if I come back here, we'll see purpose and instructions are here. That way, you know that you can go back and then check it and see if you want it. If you don't want to have that in there, you can always change the instructions to remove these 2 lines right here. All right, it's going to separate the data from the main worksheet, as well as structure all the content per the instructions. If it's handwritten, it needs to add in those underscored, the lines, so that you have a place to write it. Otherwise, it's going to add in the answers sections for the digital worksheets. All right, and that's about it. So we give it some what not to do, so don't add any extra tags or headers it doesn't need. It needs to only do HTML text. It can't ignore what you told it to do. And it's not supposed to guess on what this document is supposed to be about. You do have to give that in the purpose and in the instructions. It's not supposed to add any extra custom styling. That can be done here in a minute. We'll talk about that. But how it looks is pretty much just the HTML. That's what this guy is doing. And no extra blank spots or any placeholders. It needs to fill everything in. And we give it some examples. So example input, example output, example input, example output. All right, then that gets passed over to this edit field node here, where we're going to pass in the document name, and that's just being pulled from our other set field. So from here, it comes into here, and we call it document underscore name. We have HTML underscore content, and that's just the output of our AI agent. And then we have our drive folder ID. So drive underscore folder underscore ID, and that would be our drive folder ID. And that's, we come up here to our drive folder, where you want this to be, and then you would just come and grab this last section here, and that's your drive folder ID. So I do have it hard-coded in here. If you want to put it somewhere else, you can. I have it hard-coded in here. You'll want to hard-code it in yourself. So wherever you want these documents to be output for you. All right, with all of that, we then run it through this code node, and this code node is designed to structure all of that HTML content, as well as get the right information and process it in the right way that Google Docs' API needs in order to be able to create these documents with the proper formatting. And so all that information comes out as raw data. So just down here at the bottom, we see it's called raw data, and then the text, the output right there. And then that gets passed to this HTTP node, where we have a method of post. We're going to use this URL here. It's https://www.googleapis.com/upload/drive/v3/files. And then I have predefined credentials in here using the Google Drive OAuth 2 API. So you want to make sure you set up your Google Drive credentials inside of Google Cloud Console. And if you don't know how to do that, links in the description below. All right, we're going to send query parameters. So we have upload type. The first one is multi-part. And we have the next one is supports all drives. Value is true. We're going to send a body as well. Our body content type is raw. Content type is going to be multi-part /related ;space boundary equals divider. And then our body is just going to be that JSON.raw data. So you can just come over here and drag it over, paste it right in there if you want. All right, what all that does is it creates your Google Doc for you right in your Google Drive folder. Once that's been created, we come over to this Google Sheets node. We take the same worksheet that we were working on, so the worksheet generator, our sheet 1. We're going to match it by the name of the file we just created. So in this case, kids party checklist. So I just have our edit fields.item.json.name, which will be over here. This ensures that the name that we asked it to be is the name that got created. So boom, and it's to make sure that we're matching to the same one in our spreadsheet here. All right, and so you set that, and then we come down to done. We have yes. That way our filter works, and the next time through, it will not try to run these worksheets again. So that is if you do not have a transcript. If you do have a transcript, we go through this process right here. I'm not going to be able to fit it all in. That's okay. And so what we do is we have another edit field node. All right, this edit field node is just going to grab all that information. So we're going to have a field called file link, and that's going to be our transcript link. So what came out of our out of our spreadsheet originally is going to be a link, preferably to like a Google Drive. And I say Google Drive because that's what we're downloading from. If you're going to be downloading from somewhere else, you will need an HTTP node instead to download it. So you might as well just upload it to your Google Drive, and it'll be locked right in. So that link will be here, just going to be called file link. Then we lock in our name, our purpose, our instructions, and whether it's handwritten again right there. All right, we then pass it through this switch. This switch is checking to see whether the file link contains drive.google.com or it contains /document/, one of the two. Now, I do that because not every single time that you upload a file is it going to be a Google Doc. Sometimes it might be a .txt, a text file, or it might even be a PDF, right? I don't know what you're going to include, so I wanted to make sure I included a bunch of different options here. And so if it's a text file or a PDF file, it'll get caught by drive.google.com. And if it's a Google Docs, then it's just going to be /document/. Easy enough. It grabs it. It'll then pass it through here. It downloads it using our Google Drive download node. And so both of these are the same. This is a Google Drive account. Resources file, operation is download. Our file is going to be from the URL, and that URL is just from our file link. Just grab that. We're going to do an output field name of data. So there's data. And we do Google file conversion. That way we can turn Google Docs into text files if we have to, which we need to in order to do the next step. All right. Now, if it's a PDF or if it's a text file, in this case, it was a text file, so I don't know why it necessarily came down here, but it did. If it's a PDF file, it's going to come up here. It's going to grab the same information, pass it all forward, and then it's going to have a switch here that checks whether it's a PDF or it's a .txt. One of the two. Either way, it then comes through and it will extract the text from that file. So we're using an extract from file node set to extract from text file. Our input is data. There's data. Our output is going to be called data. And so there's data. And so it just takes all the text from the document, pulls it out. No need for an AI to do that. It then passes forward into an edit field node where we just lock in the text, just call it text. And then we're pulling it in from json.data. And I have that so that I have one common edit field node. It doesn't matter which path it comes down. This is always looking for our text to be called json.text from wherever it came from. We then rename it transcript just for ease of us understanding moving forward what this was, as well as lock in the name, the purpose, the instructions, and the handwritten one more time. We then pass all of that information to an AI agent, just like we did before. So we get the name, the purpose, the instructions, as well as whether it's handwritten, the worksheet is supposed to allow for handwritten writing, and the transcript. Now, this system prompt is pretty much identical. I just kind of stripped out the extra fields here where we're feeding them a second time to the system prompt. And that's just because I didn't want to have to load all the extra text from the transcript one extra time. It's already in the user message. But otherwise, this is exactly the same, other than the fact that it does have an extra step here in its chain of thought, that it's supposed to do a transcript analysis and figure out what is in the transcript, what are you telling it, like what was the important information found in it, and how should it structure the worksheet in order to be able to be in alignment with that transcript. So all of you coaches, consultants out there giving presentations, this is awesome because you just have to upload the video of whatever you made, upload the transcript from that video or audio, and it'll go ahead and make the worksheets directly from that presentation that you gave. All right. Otherwise, it outputs everything exactly the same. So we get our output in HTML format. We pass it through the same edit field node. So we have document name, HTML content, and drive folder name. Again, hard code that in there. And then that passes through the code node, passes into this HTTP node, which creates our Google Doc in our Google Drive folder. And then we mark it as done using our Google Sheets node. So that's it. That's how you are able to use the simple workflow. It takes maybe 15, 20 seconds to be able to make a worksheet for you just like that. Really awesome. You'll be able to build this into other workflows that you have and really be able to build a true business that's creating content for you with almost no effort on your part. And if you're serious about building AI automation tools into your business using n8n, be sure to check out our advanced community where we give new tools each week that will actually make a difference in your business. This is where we keep all of our exclusive tools and resources for committed business owners looking to ride this AI wave. In addition, you'll get direct access to me to help you through your setup and tech issues, our business building course library, and so much more. And as always, I'm Bradford Carlton. Let's automate your success together.